The arrival of the HMT Empire Windrush is considered the first major influence of Afro-Caribbean people to come to Britain after the World War II. The Empire Windrush arrival on the 22nd of June 1948 marked the beginning of a period of migration that will eventually see over 500,000 Commonwealth citizens settle in Britain between 1948 and 1971. It all started because after World War II Britain was short on workforce, so it offered to the Commonwealth members to go to Britain to work. So people took passage for many reasons. Some were seeking employment, some others wanted to rejoin the army, and many simply had curiosity about the country. There were 1,027 passengers. Most of them gave Jamaica as their last country of residence, but of course there were people from other places such as Bermuda, Trinidad, and even a group of Polish refugees in Mexico. So there were also different skills that the passengers had. For example, most of them were housing domestic, for example, cleaners or housewives. But also there were some others different skills that they had, for example, carpenters, engineers, mechanics. But when they arrived to the destination, most of them didn't work in what they want to. Also, the passengers had different destinations. Most of them wanted to arrive to London, but there were also 109 of them that didn't have a clear destination, and they were living temporarily in a former air raid shelter at Clapham South. There were also destinations such as Manchester or Liverpool. Of course, there were different consequences of this migration. The principal is the discrimination that the migrants suffer because they were not really accepted by the British people. And actually in 2009, the Home Office destroyed the passenger records of the Windrush. So even nowadays it is impossible for some of them to prove that they are legal in the United Kingdom. So since there was a lot of discrimination to black people who lived in Britain, there started to be a lot of manifestations that were also expressed in literature. People were very rude and discriminated the migrants, calling them with rude words. So in this poem called Outcast, written by John Aggart, we can appreciate how the author criticizes the use of the term half-caste, and it uses different poetic devices such as rhythm that is a little bit irregular and some rhymes, but the interesting thing is how he uses his dialect and how he perceives that this term is actually absurd, because we can not only be a half person. I personally think, and what I liked the most was the comparison between with the piano keys, when he says mix a black key with a white key is a half case of symphony. I think that is a good way to make people to reflect about it, and to reflect about the treatment that is given to black people in Britain. Finally, as a conclusion, there exist different solutions that can be found for this problem of discrimination of migrants, such as the Notting Hill Carnival that tries to be inclusive. But the important thing is to try to be empathetic and kind with each other, even if we are not from the same culture.